Mr. Airhose here, tuning in and sending out another transmission from the SWOT Enterprise. You know the drill. 1414 is the code, the cosmos is the road, and I have been training for this my entire life. The fellow is well and still lacks a definitive name, but fellow suits him for now, and the two of us make a great team. Considering all that we've been through, I feel like we were connected from the very start. Maybe that's true. Maybe everything's sort of connected in a way, or maybe that's just the underlying paranoia that everyone in the cosmos is afflicted with. Anyways, I won't waste any more time, as often life has little to report, always the same yet constantly changing. Let's check out this incoming transmission to see what's new. Receiving transmission.
Late last night. Well, I guess you got in another fight, but this time it was not with me. This was not part of our destiny. My dreams are winding deep inside my head. The things you said felt like I was there. On the phone, you said you wondered if I was alone, so that I could come by your side and take you for a final ride. My dreams are winding deep inside my head. The things you said felt like I was dead. This was for 1 second, but it felt so real. It felt so real. It felt so
real. Connection grants insight to the nature of life in ways that little else can accomplish. Sometimes what it takes to see things a bit more clear is a conversation. So many individual perspectives, no single mind can possibly know everything that's really happening without counsel. We keep close those who help us properly map out the complicated weave of objectivity, but sometimes what we need is consideration of an area of reality that we had not even considered inspecting. With so many cosmic explorers, some universes can only be heard of in the vast scope of it all. Hit 'em up. See what's going on in a place you would be irresponsible for veering off into to explore for yourself. Report your findings and expect to be surprised by how different someone else's experience may be. That is the beauty of a diverse community. But we must remember that subjectivity is not ultimate. It's far from the full matter. We flesh out the entirety of it all with another transmission. Receiving transmission.
I've seen you hit the ground running. We both know it's been a long time coming. This big old wheel keeps spinning. You're hiding when you should be learning. Take what you want, don't say you didn't want it. Take what you need, don't say you didn't need it. It's so hard, I'm trying just to get to you. All I'm asking is to step inside my shoes. Take what you can and don't forget it. Time reminds us what we're missing. Believe me when I say it straight to you. I see your soul, it's burning blue. Take what you want, don't say you didn't want it. Take what you need, don't say you didn't need it. It's so hard, I'm trying just to get to you. All I'm asking is to step inside my shoes. So at the end of the day, can you let go of the pain? This big old wheel keeps spinning, turns back around to the beginning. Take what you want, don't say you didn't want it. Take what you need, don't say you didn't need it. It's so hard, I'm trying just to get to you. All I'm asking is to step inside my shoes. Step inside. 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 Step inside.
We offer our shoes as an opportunity to provide understanding for those who are willing to receive the perspective unique to ourselves. Some are more willing to see what another's journey is really like, while others are content to insist that the way they perceive is adequate to assess all situations. Contentions arise where empathy is rejected, and self-proclaimed sympathy is lacking in that it only takes into account one's own personal trajectory without considering the nuances of the full range of another's experience. You can feel sorry for someone's situation without actually making an effort to lend a hand. And while a shoulder to cry on has its benefits, self-sacrificial support in your favor is invaluable. Caution is necessary when one's own best interest is all that seems to matter. It is a challenging thing to make our own goal to only ever be utilized and in service of another's journey. But what about me? What about me? Isn't it true that pure greatness is measured not by accolades but by contribution? And here I am speaking to myself, but if it resonates, so be it. A pair of shoes is offered to me now. Receiving transmission. One time I found myself hanging out at a bus stop on a planet called Tobor the Great. I wasn't actually trying to catch a ride. This sort of practice acquaints one with the local inhabitants. This particular morning, no one seemed to need to use the public transportation system. Either that or the stop was abandoned. Anyways, I was surprised to be approached by a being that greatly resembled an Earthman like me. He was carrying a briefcase in one hand and some sort of translation device in the other. He asked me if I would like to buy some silence. Needless to say, I was intrigued, and so I asked if he would be willing to give me a sample. He opened his briefcase, and inside were several glass jars sealed with wax that had labels on them. I think I remember a few, things like restaurant clatter and rain on the tin roof, things like that. The man picked out one that said something like downtown at noon. He cracked it open, and immediately all the sounds of the city disappeared. A clean, delicate quiet filled the atmosphere, and the air didn't move. It was incredible. The man then sealed the jar up again, and the planet came crashing back, horns, footsteps, someone yelling about bagels in the distance. I remember I purchased a jar labeled 2 friends who have said everything already. Use it wisely, the man said. No refills. He walked away with $14, and I headed back to my ship, eager to dive into a moment of my purchased silence. When I opened the jar, the silence that came out of it was easy, familiar, like laying on grass looking up at the night sky. It was like spending time with an old friend in comfortable silence. Best $14 I ever spent. Receiving transmission.
Love is a lonely game. If I couldn't feel the same, I'd be more ashamed at trying to change and force it. Here's to the newly trusting. There's nothing wrong with wanting change. It's on the way to rearrange it. Act like I owe you something, whatever the passion may be. And if everything peaks, will that only mean I deserve it? 'Cause there's nothing missing, and yet there's nothing I could say to make you believe this was all meant to missing, and yet there's nothing I could say to make you believe this was all meant to be when so forsaken. There's nothing missing, and yet there's nothing that I could say to make you believe this was all meant to be when so forsaken. 'Cause there's nothing missing, and yet there's nothing I could say to make you believe this was all meant to be when so forsaken.
Love is a balance. It is a delicate, sensitive, dangerously beautiful balance between who we are and who we could be. There is acceptance, but there is also effort. Not enough grace, and we lose who we are. Not enough consideration, and the relationship becomes one-sided, if not altogether non-existent. We can find ourselves together and yet alone, or we can find ourselves unable to recognize who we see looking back at us in a mirror. But love is worth both the grace and the effort. Master the balance as much as one can manage, and mercy will come your way. It does go beyond romance. There are different kinds of love. Hopefully the love for pizza and partners aren't on the same level, but the principle applies either way. Everything in its proper place. We continue our journey. Receiving transmission.
This might sound weird, but I think it's okay to sound a little strange some days. This might sound odd, and I hope it's all good for me to be misunderstood. My friend jumps from skin to skin like an alien until I hardly recognize him. My friend, such an alien, I don't know who he is, or if I should even call him my friend. Okay, maybe it's not as strange as it seems. He's just a guy with hopes and dreams. On what planet are they getting a kick out of a sickness like this? My friend jumps from skin to skin like an alien until I hardly recognize him. My friend, such an alien, I don't know who he is, or if I should even call him my friend. Don't call him a shapeshifter. He's more of a body snatcher. Yes, he is. As much as I love sci-fi, it's a bit different when it's coming to life. My friend jumps from skin to skin like an alien until I hardly recognize him. My friend, such an alien, I don't know who he is, or if I should even call him my friend. This might sound weird, but I think it's okay to sound a little strange some days.
Sometimes life is stranger than fiction. Encounters are unexplainable at times, and it has been said that nothing is ever quite as it seems. The inhabitants on Storge are said to have not only multiple personalities, but also multiple forms. Luckily, this comes as some sort of innate feature as these creatures begin shifting from the moment they are born. Doctors are quick and precise in their description of each child as they come, noting different responses and appearances within the first few hours post-labor. As the child grows, the ability becomes controllable, and these creatures are very productive as each one is engaged in multiple aspects of their civilization throughout their lifetime. It does make for some complicated situations. Once a Storgean ran against themselves in politics, and won. Another instance, a Storgean was reported to arrest themselves for the crime of going by multiple names. Maybe the previous transmission has been reflecting on their encounters with such a strange being in the same way, though I recognize the multiple ways which such a deliverance may be interpreted. I'd say it sounds reasonable, and if not a single friend literally changing skins, a single personality possessing multiple friends at different times is no less haunting. Either way, life is strange. Receiving transmission.
3, 4, and...
Comes my way. The Interplanetary Ledger writes, the galactic cafe chain Drift, known for its floating storefronts and slow-rotating furniture, has introduced a loyalty program that rewards customers for not speaking. Under the new Quiet Accrual initiative, patrons earn 1 drift point for every 5 continuous minutes of silence while inside the cafe. At 30 minutes, they receive a free refill or, in select locations, a soft nod from the barista. The company describes the program as, quote, an experiment in peaceful profitability, end quote. "We realized people were coming here to escape the sound of their own schedules," said Drift CEO Bren Kahlo, whose press statements are famously issued in lowercase. "So we decided to make that feeling quantifiable." Each table is equipped with a stillness sensor, a small black orb that measures vocal frequency, chair movement, and sigh amplitude. The device connects directly to the cafe's loyalty network, silently recording progress. Customers can view their silence balance through the Drift mobile app, though most prefer not to check it too often. "Knowing ruins the quiet," says Elin Mora, a regular at Drift's Asteroid Belt branch. "I just sit and let the minutes pile up somewhere unseen. It's like earning something by not needing it." Since launching, the program has spread rapidly across 6 systems. Several rival franchises attempted to imitate the idea but ran into issues translating silence into data. One competitor, Brewstar Nebula, miscalibrated its sensors, rewarding customers who coughed rhythmically. Economists are calling Drift's success a sign of an emerging contemplative market, where inner calm is the primary commodity. "People are tired of performing engagement," says behavioral analyst Dr. Thal Set. "Now they're engaging with fatigue itself." Not everyone approves. Some critics accuse Drift of commodifying introspection. "They're selling people their own quiet," says a protester outside the Moonport branch, holding a sign that simply read, "Shh." Still, the numbers don't lie. In one cycle, Drift's profits rose by nearly 23%, even as verbal transactions plummeted. Many locations now play no background music at all. The hum of the oxygen filters and the faint tremor of orbital machinery have become the new soundtrack of leisure. One barista, speaking on condition of anonymity and for irony's sake breaking the silence, said the job has changed dramatically. "It's strange serving coffee to a room full of people who are all deep in thought, and knowing you are part of the reason why." Sounds like a good idea. I wonder how much those jars of silence I was once peddled would go for in a place like that. Receiving transmission.
watching as the sun sets and day dims into night. Darkness surrounded and I feel prone to falling behind, finally letting go. With all this weight carried on my shoulders, the scars that burn, you tell me they're ghost soldiers. The tears I've shed and forgotten time, the silent scream of shattered each drop of sleep, memories of mine. Like a moon once close together, ripped apart, I've tried to kill everything.
Thoughts become thoughts that tangle together in an unmanageable way if we're not careful to take every thought captive. We grasp each pondering and view them through the lens of reality, or else we weave a tangled web in the mind that leaves us unable to move. As the sun sets and the moon rises, and then sets as the sun rises again, day after day, the spider of anxiety threatens to have its way with its prey. There is freedom, but there is no killing the spider itself. The key is to untangle the web, and then to avoid its recreation. In doing so, with no sustenance, the spider becomes weak and easily defeated. Mind management must go beyond observation if it is ever to become productive. But still, we all find ourselves stuck sometimes. In the importance of momentum, let us continue. Receiving transmission.
Summer's gone and love might be too. I don't know what you gonna find. Took your love and you left it on my mind. Well, I came out here just to get away. Wasn't looking for a brand new baby, but now the summer's gone and we got to move on. Move on, sha-na-na-na-na-na. Yeah, it's gone, sha-na-na-na-na-na. Summer's gone, where you headed to this time? Ain't gonna find no guy like me, but what I really want is for you to run free. Keep moving on, love in your heart. And keep moving on, love in your heart. Yeah, love in your heart. Yeah, love. Summer's gone and love might be too. I don't know what you gonna find. Took your love and you left it on my mind.
Who really knows what awaits us when the season we're in inevitably ends? Nothing stays the same under the sun but change. The difficulty is dealing with the lingering memories of everything that felt so right for a time. It's hard to see how it all wouldn't fit where we move on to. But the truth is, it wouldn't. It just wouldn't. The responsibility lies on our own shoulders to find out and engage in the part we should be playing, abandoning the theater of a time now past. Nonetheless, the memories can be difficult, heartbreaking even, but not as difficult as living life in the wrong season. Everything that has been prepares us for everything that now is, and what is now will prepare us for what will be, sending us off to join the troupe of a new production with everything necessary for the part. In small ways, in big ways, everything comes together in the end, and on our way, receiving transmission. How vast the cosmos is. So many interesting and soul-building experiences, so many worthy considerations. I am finding out more and more how small I am in the grand scheme of it all, while at the same time finding more and more how much I have to offer. My hope is that the same can be said for you. We're all in this together. This is Mr. Airhose signing off. Until next time, Godspeed. Sending transmission.
just another mystery.